Good morning, evening, afternoon. Masati here. Hope you are doing fantastic. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Today, it's an interesting show. I think it's going to be well, could be a little controversial, man. Like always, though, right? Because when the truth comes out, it's always a little controversial. All right. So today is navigating the extremes of maternal perceptions. Uh, just thinking about my mom, by the way. Was your mom an angel, a bitch, or just maybe misunderstood, or maybe something else, like a psychopath or something? So I've heard, over the years, I've heard a lot of crazy stories. I've worked on a lot of individuals who have had crazy, crazy mothers. I myself have experienced my own kids having, well, maybe not the best mom for them, but then again, they've grown really, really strong. So one key thing is like no matter what happens, no matter who your parents are, in this case, your mother, no matter who your parents are, you can always walk away and be different and transform or be a better version of them. Okay. The key is that you never want to be the same. Okay. You never want to be the same. Some people go, well, I love my mom so much that, I just want to be just like her. You really don't. Right? There's lots of reasons why. One of the main reasons is that you don't perpetuate you don't perpetuate your lineage. You don't perpetuate your family line because you're recycling moments of time and space. You literally are just literally like her. And then why do you want to be just like her? So let's just break it down into bits and pieces. Okay. Some people go, who had their mom go, who had a mother? Oh, Billy Moss, you've never talked about your mom. Let's hear about it. Yeah, I'd love to. Sure. But who out there goes, God, I love my mom so much. She was so perfect. I want to be just like her. Okay, we'll kind of break it down. Okay. And then we have some lovely guests here. We'll go into some of the extremes. We'll go into some of the details with the guests here on the impact sessions. Okay. All right. So those individuals who go, I just want to be just like my mom. She was just perfect. Okay. Why? No, so here's the breakdown at an exponential intelligence level or the first principle level is that, when you're in that zone and you want to be just like her, the underlying reason from what I've seen, I could be off, but again, the underlying reason from the abilities that I've had through my near-death experiences is that a lot of times you want to be just like her because you're running the exact same patterns, the exact same programming, right? Literally, like say what happened to her at say 32, something will happen to you at 32. Right? Not the exact same thing, although sometimes it works that way, but something very similar. The impact of your life will be the same. You marry the same type of individual, you get divorced the same number of times, and so on and so on, and you go, gosh, you know what? I just want to be just like her. Again, the reason why is because your patterns are so parallel that you go, gosh, she seems really familiar. She seems okay to me. I really love her a lot. And then you really, really connect. Right. So that if that's the reason why you really don't want to be just like her, because again, you perpetuate, and then your kids, your daughters are in the same realm. Uh, with this situation, and again, how many people that go, I just want to be just like my mom, exactly like my mom. You have a daughter that is exactly like you, and then you start to actually see in your daughter some of the issues that you didn't see in yourself. Does that make sense, Dave? So in that kind of situation, and then sometimes we get these we get these individuals who go, I hate my mom. She always tries to do whatever. She always tries to control me. She never showed affection towards me. And then you have a session with me. How many people are like that? Right? Where you hate your mom. She never had affection towards you. She always kind of like pushed you away or kept you at a distance, and you couldn't feel the love. Right? And you think, she's a bitch. And, I don't know why I couldn't feel the love from her. Okay. So these moms, really, really interesting, guys. These moms actually know that they're running a messed up pattern for you. Okay. They know that you are going to turn out just like them. They literally see. that you're going to turn out just like them. And then what happens is like, you know what? I don't want my kid to go through the same bullshit that I went through. So they literally love you enough to push you away. They push you away, they keep you at a distance, not because they don't love you. Right? Really, really important. They actually love you so much to the point is like, you know what? And it breaks a lot of their hearts, right? Because then you, as you get older, you go, God, my mom, I wasn't close to my mom, and then it breaks their heart too. It's like, God, you know what? I love them so much. I didn't want them to go through the same bullshit. Now, there's a lot of mothers say that have been abused back in the day. So what they do what they do is like, you know what, I don't want especially my daughter, I don't want my daughter to go through the same abuse pattern. Or if they have a son, it's like, I don't want them to turn out to be that man that abuses, their children or whatever. So what do? They cut off their love, or it seems like they cut off their love. They don't know how to do it because they're not exponentially intelligent. So what happens? Then you raise a child that feels unloved. Unfortunately, when mothers do that, they kind of run the same pattern as before because they want that child will do anything to reclaim that love that they lost from their mom. So although their mom was an angel in this case, although some of you might go, God, my mom is a bitch. No, not really. It's just again, it's just because they didn't want you to be the same way, so they push you away, or they disappear sometimes, right? Sometimes kids, mothers in this case, again, fathers as well, but mothers disappear because it's like, you know what? If I raise these kids, I'm going to be a terrible mom. I'm just going to leave. But they have no value in themselves. So unfortunately, they have dramatic impact on the child that gets raised. Right? Let's take a deep breath in. Let's make it an experiential experience. There's other ones that are, they love you so much and they go, gosh, my mom is so good. She does everything for me, and we're so close together. How many people are like that, right? Okay, now those moms, aren't really the best. No offense, guys. I'm just telling you what I see. Okay, I could be wrong, but frequency wise, I'm 100, 200% right, right? Frequency wise, because I see underlying frequencies. Now, you might argue with me at the physical level, surface level. Now, how many of you have seen these mothers? They're so nurturing and so kind to their babies, right? They're so nurturing, they're so kind, and then we'll get into the teenagers, but they're so nurturing and so kind. You look at them at a shopping mall and they're just hugging their kids or grandmas, they're just hugging their grandkids, and they feel so loving, and you can see the love in their eyes. And the kids always kind of they have that wide-eyed, right? It sounds really looks great on the surface, but when I see that, especially like with grandmas, again, no offense, but I'm just telling you the way it is. No offense, that grandma is like so wanting to go back to their childhood. A lot of times it's like, damn, I'm sick. I'm gonna die pretty soon. I'm gonna miss out on their graduation. I'm gonna miss out on this. So what do they start to literally suck the life out of their grandkids. Okay? The mothers do that as well. What happens there is that they start to ooze all their problems. They're the only ones that they connect with, so the mother is having a hard time, with the father or situations, or again, postpartum. This is what happens, postpartum, after pregnancy and so on, postpartum depression. What happens is that, again, the mother is pouring all their grief into their child, right? And then on the surface, it looks great. It looks really loving, but they are literally suffocating that child. And the child does not know what to do does not know what to do outside of their mom's fence, or yeah, barricade that they've created. And then these moms, they're so fearful of life, right? They're so fearful of life. They don't know what to do with their child. So they start to become helicopter moms. And this is where, again, they do everything. They look at everything that you do, right? That sounds really safe, right? It's like, gosh, you got to do that in today's society. You actually do. But again, the underlying reason is that they are looking at every frequency that you are generating. So you cannot be yourself in front of that, in front of your mom. Right? Kind of sad, right? Helicopter moms, exactly. So So again, on the surface level, those mothers look really great, at PTA meetings, at, watching every detail, looking, at the camps and all that stuff, just to make sure your kids are safe. And again, those things are necessary in today's world, but you want to separate, watching out for them and instead of like scrutinizing every little detail of their frequency. These helicopter moms start to dress their kids at extreme levels. They start to control every little detail. They start to control their habits, their gestures, everything that they do, how they eat, everything that they do, right? Asthma. A lot of mothers who are messed up, especially mothers who have sons. Unfortunately, like my youngest son, he had asthma till he started living with me, and his asthma cleared up in a very short period of time. Yep, all the distorted patterns. Those kind of kids, people who have start getting asthma or children start to get ill. Okay? What happens is that, gosh, what do they do? It's almost like a sociopathic type situation where they start to make their kids feel really, really weak, so they feel needed for the kids. Okay. And that's a surface level issue. Again, at the surface level, they look okay. They're fantastic. Their mother, again, social realms, they're always fantastic. Internally, the kid is becoming derailed by that mother sucks the life out of them and starts to control them. Because again, if that child gets really, really strong, then they can't be controlled, and that's how they see their love. So again, sociopathic type situations. You get to really, really extremes where where that mother is needed, wants to be needed so badly. I know it sounds crazy, but I was talking about somebody. Is it Munchausen's syndrome? Can somebody spell that out? I think it is, or Manchester syndrome, Munchausen syndrome, where the mother starts to poison the child, slight poisoning of the child. Sometimes they do that with their spouse as well. Either way, what happens is that they keep the child sick. They keep the child sick, and then what happens is, well, they're always needed in their life, which is really, really sad. Yeah, Munchausen. Yep, exactly. All right, and then on the flip side, there are a lot of fantastic moms, right? There's a lot of fantastic moms. They're very nurturing. They're super moms. My mom was like that. She was a little over loving, right? But we knew how to handle ourselves. I think for me, my mom, just like your typical Middle Eastern mom, or Far Eastern mom, not really Middle Eastern, but very, very loving, very kind, very beautiful, by the way. Very, when she was younger, very beautiful. And as she grew old, she got a little chunkier and so on. She had the red cheeks. She was quite, she was pretty funny. She was very loving. No matter what time, I remember, we'd play a lot of sports, a lot of volleyball, late night volleyball, or soccer, whatever it was, and we'd have friends come over at like at fucking midnight, and she'd wake up. It's like, gosh, are you guys hungry? And there'd always be food on the table. It's like, let me make you a dinner, right? No matter what time we'd come. It's like, Mom, it's okay, go to bed. It's like, she'd be fine with it, and she took care of us. Again, it was pretty fast. It was really nice. It was really fantastic. Very, very loving mom. Again, a little overburdening sometimes, because she didn't want us to get hurt. And for us, we always, at least me, I was always into the extreme stuff. It's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. You got to be careful. So although, we took it from a loving space. So it kind of comes from both sides, actually. I could have had her, again, suffocate me, or I knew that, well, she just loved me a lot, or maybe I just took it that way, but I think it was for real. She just loved me a lot, and she just didn't want me to be hurt. So, you have to condition how you see or how you experience your mom. You have to be, as a child, you have to be awakened to go, oh, you know what? My mom's doing the best that she can. And that's really, really important because, you know, a lot of times that I see children or that I see, my mom does this, my mom does that, or she's a bitch and she's not. A lot of times, again, they're doing their best that they can, but most people in today's society, they just don't know. Okay. They just don't know what best is because they're not exponentially intelligent, which is really sad, right? And then we recreate the same problems, thinking that being kind or we don't even know what being kind is. We don't know what love is. So we have to go inside internally as a family and start to define who we are as people and define all those words. You know what love is, what honor is, what security is, what taking care of people, what a mother is, what a woman being a mother. Now, a lot of times women, they forgot that they're a woman, and then they pass that on as well, and it messes up their daughters, and it certainly messes up um, their their uh, their sons as well. So, all right. Um, let's just take about like 3 4 minutes, guys. And for all those people who their grandmothers or mothers have crossed over, like my mom, she crossed all she crossed over, and uh, let's bless them. And for those individuals, parents or mother, well, let's just make it parents. Those individuals, moms and dads, if they've crossed over, and it wasn't an awakened crossover. There's a lot of death happening these days, so let's help them cross over properly. It'll release that distortion uh, from you as well. Okay, so let's take a deep breath in. I think it's the best Mother's Day present that we can have, right? Crossing your moms over. Whether they're, an angel or a bitch, it doesn't really matter. Cross them over so they can awaken to their default self. Again, which should be an angel, perfect angel. Breath in again. And then that way, yeah, for father, mother, whoever, okay? Grandparents. Uh, there we go. Breath in again. So the purpose of this, especially for those who are new or the sciencey people, it's not like we're sending ghosts across, although uh, at a religious or spiritual level, you might think that's the way it is. Breath in. But from a science level, what's happening is that breath in, just notice your heart space, chest, lungs. What happens is that when people don't crossover awakened, don't die awakened, that connection is still conscious. It's still in this reality, right? Or that identity that you called your mom or dad. Take a breath in and notice whatever part in you that is affected through this hyper meditation. There we go. The consciousness is still alive. The plug-in, again, your physical body that is connected to that consciousness is gone. Consciousness stays alive. You are attached to that consciousness. Take a breath in. Then you start running very similar to your parents' patterns. So you took over that consciousness. You lose your consciousness. Breath in again. So when I say cross them over, again, from a XI science point of view, what's happening is that you are disconnecting that consciousness from this realm. You take it, disconnect it, you turn it off. So you don't have to carry the burdens, or the family doesn't have to continue on with the burdens. Breath in again. There you go. However, again, however you see it. Um, I'm actually seeing a good number of you with your parents or your moms, especially um, wanting to cross over or about to cross over. So let's just work on that as well. Yeah, and if you're feeling anything, just note it, comment it. Um, those are the things, and those are the frequencies, okay, that are resonating, that are similar to your mom. And then, we go, well, it's hereditary. My mom had heart issues, therefore I have heart issues. You really don't. You're just continuing on the frequencies. There we go. Someone's heart doesn't hurt anymore. Yeah, it's that disconnect for you. And it's not just physical pain. You don't have to continue on, with the hereditary patterns at a physical level, but it allows you to disconnect. And you'll start to see, for a good number of you, if you look, initially what will happen for you. It sounds crazy for those who are new, but science just hasn't caught up to it yet. That's all. You'll start to actually see that your mom's presence will flow through you. Like, you look in the mirror, take a breath in, and just notice your body in its entirety. Right? You look in the mirror and say, oh my God, I see my mom. It's because the patterns, right? The genetic patterns of your mom that was part of you is leaving. And then it leaves the grace and beauty of who she really was, frequency wise or spirit wise. And then what happens from that, right? What happens from that is that your presence starts to come through. Right? You get the best out of your mom, and then your face turns into your face. Even if your mom was beautiful, you're beautiful or handsome, again, you don't want all of that, right? You just want the beauty and the grace, not all the diseases and so on that your mom went through in this case, right? There you go. All righty. So what we'll do, take a breath in. There we go. I did do a science of death. I think I'm going to redo that, actually do part two of it, go a little deeper. I think in today's society, we really need to understand how death works. Whew. How many of you all feel free? That's going to be a great Mother's Day. If your mom is still living, you'll actually observe her from a different perspective. You'll observe her for, no matter how she is, you'll observe her. It's like, yeah, she went through a lot of shit. Yeah, she was a bitch. Yeah, she was an angel. But it's like, yeah, okay, she was. And then what are you going to do about it? And that's really the key. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to continue on the pattern or the reverse pattern? Or are you going to be a new version of you? Learn from your mom and then move forward. Some beautiful comments here, guys. All right, so let's jump on into the impact sessions. We've got some lovely people here. They're all women. I think, yeah, they're all women. There we go. All right, take a breath in, guys. As a note, I'm not a doctor in any way. I'm not a financial analyst. I'll read you. I could be all wrong. Okay. So if I do say something about your health, um, uh, just note that I'm just reading you. I could be off. You could always seek professional advice, right? Or better yet, seek your own internal self. Right? What I do claim, though, best, and nobody can say that, is that I help you awaken your natural propensity to heal or become your best possible self. Okay. Then, no matter what modality that you practice, whether Eastern, Western philosophies, whatever that you practice, it works out better for you. Breath in again, ladies. And then also the group, because as I work on these lovely ladies, I'll be working on you, especially if you have some similar issues. And that's why it's so impactful. Even if you're listening to this as a recording, the frequencies are still there for you because the frequencies are not recorded in space and time. They're not recorded in the device. It takes you back because, again, these XI frequencies are of no time, no space. All right. So we'll go to Charlene first. Hi, Charlene. How are you?
Hi, doing good. Thank you.
Awesome. Anything special you want to work on? You've changed. I can't really read you that well, which is really fantastic. You're kind of in a grayed out space, Shirley. So what that means to me is that you're literally moving your past, you're putting it away, and then you're moving forward into your own identity. So for me, it'd be like file folders, right? All your life you've had this file folder, including all your mom's stuff in it. And then it's like, you know what? I'm not going to use this file folder anymore. It's kind of like moving out. I'm not going to live in that same presence or that same house anymore. I'm going to, what you've done, Charlene, through XI, which is beautiful, hon, you've actually created a new house, a new identity of yourself, and you've just pulled over whatever that you needed from this old house or old file system and into your new system. Does that make sense to you? I don't know if that makes sense to you.
It
Uh,
makes a lot of sense. I feel like I'm currently learning to experience myself differently in different situations and feeling more confident in that. And,
mhm.
I didn't know what I didn't know. And so the death thing with my mom, would like to, those patterns of my family of
Yes,
abuse and sacrifice
yes,
and absorbing.
yes.
Um, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm understanding the more I solidify my identity, the less I will absorb. And yet I am here going, is there any way I could get a bump on that?
Yeah, well, that's what you're here. So I'm that mover for you that just kind of will finalize the moving process, and then you can say goodbye to that old identity. This is actually the process of an awakened death. You see your parents or your mom in this case. They're dying. Again, the death process for you, and even as they're aging, you start to go, "Oh, mom's getting older," and so on like that. Take a breath in, hon. Just notice your ribs on your left side. Seems like you're releasing from like your right to left. Some
Yeah,
people, they release from front to back, but you're releasing from right to left. Does that make sense to you?
I can feel everything. So
Yep.
yes, I can feel the frequencies moving through me. I can feel when I absorb.
Yep.
I think I'm understanding more. Like I'm learning. It's my job
Yep.
to utilize my environment and to feel it and to understand where to
Hmm.
best be to maintain and to solidify my own frequency.
Absolutely.
Um,
Breath in again, huh? So notice your right side, notice your left side. So what's happening there, Charlene, is really important for you at the level that you're at, honey. Okay. Uh, And then again, the rest of you as well, or the group. By the way, if you're at her level, okay. And what's important is that are frequencies entering you or are frequencies exiting you? It's really important to understand that. Okay. Take a breath in for you, hon. Especially with you, Charlene. With I don't know if you're dating anybody. It doesn't seem like you are. Okay, because
I'm
it's just,
getting rid of patterns. I feel the patterns of my previous relationship. I feel the frequency is still leaving me. I'm still feeling that impact.
okay. Can you see them leaving you? Can you feel the frequencies leaving you rather than entering you?
Yes.
Can you feel the flow? Notice the flow of frequencies. Okay. It's really important, guys, because again, a lot of times what'll happen is that say you had an abusive mom, right? You had an abusive mom, and then as these patterns again through sessions, whether it's Masati on Sunday or anything, what'll happen is that gosh, I'm experiencing the same patterns as before when my mom was around or whatever. Again, those patterns, if you're not aware, like I said, those patterns were deep inside you, and now they're awakened to leave and exit, and that's why it's important to flow. You're not going through the same process. Although some of you will have memories, like you, Charlene, you'll have memories, or yeah, your dream states are activating, by the way, which is really a faster process. I don't know. Does that make sense to you? Or your dream states? Okay, so
Yes, I would.
so perfect. Take a breath in. All right. So you're going to learn a lot from your dreams. At first, your dreams are going to be, yeah, let's activate your dreams properly. So at first, they're basically healing processes where you can just go back in time and go back as a child. I want to say like 12, 13, 14, 15 years old. It's almost like you lost your feminine identity. No offense, you're gorgeous, sweetie, but you have this masculine frequency on you. So
I
so
know.
uh, sorry, Demi, what did you say, buddy? 5 minutes? Okay, awesome. Um, okay, perfect. All right. So, um, let's remove that pattern or identity or whatever happened. We don't have to go through whatever happened to you. Um, there we go. Let's just release that, and then you start to realize or define yourself as an XI woman rather than the distorted woman. And this is where, again, your relationships, you tend to attract. I know it sounds you tend to attract men that look masculine at first, but then over time you become the man in the relationship. And then they become like a man bitch. No offense, but literally that. I hate to describe them that way for you, honey, but right? Does that make
It's
sense?
okay. Yeah, it's all good.
Like, well, what the hell? I thought this guy was a man, but then he's not.
It's like, what did I take away from you? What did I decide I was going to do?
Yeah, exactly. So you basically attract men that have woman problems, mother problems.
Yeah.
Breath
Not
in.
anymore, okay?
No, not no. That was your old pattern. I'm just moving over all the old house. And what I was doing as we end, honey, is that I was disconnecting you, so you can't go back to that old house anymore. You can't use your old file systems. Okay. And then on
Yep.
top of that, some of the stuff that you brought over that you may thought you might have needed, and this is will represent itself in physical form as well. It's like, gosh, you know what? The sweater or whatever it is, I don't, do you get into sweaters or knitting? I don't know why. Did your mom do that? Anyway,
My mom did it one time. She sewed. Yeah, she quilted.
okay, quilted. That's what it is. Okay, so you'll see a quilt or whatever kind of deal. It's like you'll put that to rest.
Mm.
So that's a sign that your mother is like, okay, your mom again, she could have been a bitch or whatever in whatever it was, okay, or not the best. But from this case, when you see a quilt or again knitting, or she's showing me a sweater that she might have made for you. Oh, a sweater that she made for you when you were really young, and so you might see something like that, whether in your house or whatever, you need to give that away or donate, not throw it away, but donate it. And it's about you, letting go. So that's a sign from your mom, by the way, that she needs to, and then you're good. Okay, sweetie? That makes sense?
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. Very impressive. I think this is like a decade's worth of therapy in a very short time.
Yeah, awesome. A lot
Yeah.
cheaper.
Yes, absolutely. By the way, guys, we need, at a XI frequency level, when things happen, they happen on a frequency time, not your time. So taking a decade to say shift and transform, it's not good for you. You might as well do it the XI way and just get it over and run, with the rest of your life, rather than taking another decade to clean it out. So, all right, we'll go to Carrie and Demi if you can, because you're kind of mumbled. Just put it on the chat how much time I got. Okay. Uh, thanks, buddy. Carrie, we'll go to Carrie. Hi, Carrie. How are you, hon? Anything?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Anything about your mom or anything that you want to resolve? Or I could just read you either way. Doesn't really matter. Um,
I'm good with you reading me. I feel
okay.
like I have less clarity now than I ever have about patterns with my mom, but everything.
hmm Yep, that's what I'm seeing as well. You know, and let's talk about that, Carrie. Take a breath in, hon. Notice your solar plex, and then notice your spine. Do you have spine issues, or did your mom? Oh, yeah.
Um, well, my mom broke her neck when she was 19.
Oh,
Um, and I've had neck problems, low back stuff.
yep. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just seeing the spine issues. Okay, so that pattern, say your mom, how old were you when she broke how old were you when she broke her neck?
I wasn't born yet. She was 19.
She was 19. Okay, got it. Sorry. Okay,
But
just want
she gets in car accidents like every 2 years, literally, and gets whiplash and concussions like every 2 years. And she's in her 70s now.
got it. Okay, so she's still around. So, okay, take a breath in, Lane. Uh, it's interesting. So the spine stuff, do you need to carry that for her, or can we disconnect it from you? Again, it can't guarantee anything, but let's make you more aware of what you're carrying. Does that make sense for you, hon? Okay.
Hmm.
And since again, you seem confident physically, but instantly, when I see you, at first, you're very assertive. You might be very assertive, in your career and all that, but then all of a sudden, there's a lot of weakness or insecurities that happen. So you create a facade for you in front, honey, but just it's a very thin layer. In the past, it would have been a thick layer if you didn't do the XI work. It would have been a thick layer of this is who I am. This is who Carrie is. Right. But again, you've created this thick layer, an identity or a facade of yourself, kind of like a shell, like an armor. And then the weaker version, the insecure version, the not knowing who I am version, the lost version, so to speak, of Carrie was on the inside. So what you did, if that makes sense, is that you created a strong identity of self, but you didn't heal the internal self. You just created that strong identity. And what's happening now for you, and that you said it perfectly, you're more unclear, unsure of yourself than ever before. Does that make sense for you?
Hmm.
Okay, so it's really a good sign because again, you go, well, what the hell? Why is that a good sign? The reason why is because you're actually seeing how confused and disoriented you've always been from an outside perspective, from your higher perspective, your higher self. The version that is solid, more confident, more able. What do you do, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to say it, but what do you do?
I work one-on-one with people. It used to be Reiki, but I don't use Reiki anymore, but it's still kind of hands-on.
Okay. Do you know that you're really good at like fixing other people's problems, right? You know exactly what to do. You're very sure and confident of yourself.
Hmm.
That's my point. But then again, you create a dual identity for yourself. The Carrie that works on people is a solid version. That's the Carrie that you Carrie want to be. So you've created again a solid version of who you are out here. So now what's happening is that you're actually flipping it around and it's like, gosh, you know what? I can work on myself now. I can heal that inner torment. Okay. Is that okay for you, hon? So
Hmm.
you will be confused because take a breath in. Um, well, one. um, a couple things. Let's get rid of the mom's propensity of accidents and so on, because at some level, even if you don't have those accidents, somehow your spine will have similar, from what I'm seeing, issues as your mom, because you're going to
Hmm.
keep burdens on. And then also, if you've got clients that you work on, you said again, Reiki, what you do is literally hold on to patterns, especially if you're similar to your mom's. So you have clients that are similar to your mom's patterns. Again, you hold on to that. Right? You'll absorb their patterns as well, and it's in your spine that you'll start to have issues because that's where you hold on to them, or that's where you absorb the memories. This is where people like you would go, "Gosh, I know it. I know it's in my bones. It's the truth is in my bones, so to speak." Does that make sense to you?
Hmm.
Take a breath in. Um, you're very stoic, by the way. Again, stoicism. There we go. Now you can relax. Yep. Stoicism for most people. Um, just notice your spine, hon, especially your neck area, and then your your lower. Okay, where your lower spine is connects to your vertebrae. There we go. That area. There we go. Let's just remove that for you. As your mom gets older, she'll wrap around your spine, especially in that midsection there. This is where some people feel it in their heart. Some people, feel it, the love or that connection. You feel it in your bones. Okay? You hold on to stuff in your bones. And then again, Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius and those individuals, the Daily Stoic and all. Stoicism was okay, but basically Stoicism is about, hey, there's pain. I feel pain. I feel the emotions. I'm just going to create this facade though in front. Basically, that's you, sweetie. Okay. So you're going to break down. It's okay. Um, you're going to break down. Okay. You're going to take care of yourself after this. You're going to nurture that child that was never nurtured. Does that make sense for you, hon? Were you
Hmm.
left Were you left alone quite a bit or on to fend for yourself, seems like?
Um, I think it was more in the first like year of my life. My mom got pregnant. She said that she was so sick that I just hung out with the dog all day by myself. Um, I didn't feel like my mom ever saw me, loved me, was there for me, would listen to me.
Yep.
Um, Still, but like now I can see it.
Yep.
Um, I used to think she didn't love me. I don't think that it's that she doesn't love me. I think that maybe
She had
she
other
just can't.
She can't. Exactly. And
Yeah.
then again, that's one of the examples I was talking about. Breath in, honey. All right. So what we're doing here for you, honey, is again reevaluating that frequency. You've come about to understand that. But basically, your mom, again, she's too busy with her own pains and burdens. It's almost like something is pulling her away from herself, and she's too busy staying in her body to take care of anybody. So again, the relationships don't work out well. Caring for you doesn't work out well. So you have to fend for yourself. Most people who fend for themselves in that way, they create this facade. They have this loss of identity because there's no humans basically to replicate. Uh, there we go.
Mhm.
There's a
Can I
lot of
ask a question?
yeah, sure, huh?
I had something happen about 5 days ago. It felt like a near death. There's something nagging me about like this just felt related to my mom.
Mhm.
But again, like I have zero clarity right now and just wanted to make sure if it was connected to my mom that
Yeah.
I can disconnect further.
Yes. So that's what I was talking about earlier, right? Take a breath in, just notice your spine again, all the way down, the top of your spine, all the way down to your tailbone and the audience as well. All right. So that was a death, basically, or a disconnect of your old identity with the integration of mom and you. So again, the confusion is like, well, if that is disconnected, then who am I? Okay. So that's the deal.
Mhm.
So breath in as we end, honey. So this is a complete disconnect from, and you'll feel your mom, and your mom, she's still living, she'll actually be relieved from it. By the way, she'll feel like she doesn't have to run. We'll go to Sue here.
Hi, Mas or Masati.
Yeah. Hi, how are you? Yeah, either way.
Ah,
It's all-
good. I know. Trying to get used to your new name.
yeah, that's all right. So anything special, specific that you want to work with other than being burdened by
Yes.
Whew.
Scan. Yes, I've been working on that.
Yeah.
Scan, and then I have a question at the end.
Okay. So take a breath in. So what you've done is really fantastic. So I think what you've done with XI is really, really fantastic. And and so what that thing is basically um, uh, if you could imagine a house and then a garage. Okay, it could be wherever you live, or take a deep breath in. So so what's happened is that you've taken all this trash out over this time, the time that you've been with me. But you never let go of anything. But now you're just solid enough and confident enough to go, you know what? I can just let go of that stuff. Kind of like our like Charlene in the she just like, okay, it's time to disconnect completely. You did it a little differently because
Yes.
you hold on to a lot of things from what I'm seeing. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. You like somebody might just say something a little off, and then it's just like it gets stuck with you for like a year, 10 years. It's like they said it in a different way. I wonder what they meant by that. So basically that's you, honey, not letting go of anything. So take it within. You have come to the point, Sue. You've done a great job, by the way. All this time, it's like, well, I'll create my new version here, but I'm just going to keep that stuff over here just in case I need it. Okay,
Oh,
but you don't need that anymore. The beautiful
no.
version, Sue. The beautiful thing about you, hon, is like there's a complete disconnect. There literally is. It's very disconnected. The patterns that you want to let go of and the patterns that you want to keep. It's very, very sharp. You just don't know how to disconnect it. So that's why you're here. So
Yes.
it seems like you're okay with me helping you disconnect so you can be that young girl that you never had a chance to be when you're
Yes.
what happened to you at 23 or 24? It's like the life got taken away from you. Did you get married then or what?
Yes. I was
Oh,
married at 23.
got it. I don't know if you'd call it a marriage or a bondage. Literally, you just like just your heart just got taken away from that, unfortunately. So let's bring that back. Can we?
Yes.
Okay. And then your grandma feels like she's involved too. Um, so did you was your grandma sick when you were younger, or was she oh
And one of them was.
was she whoever that was, and then it wasn't never good enough. She seems like she complained a lot or something. Or things wasn't never good enough. Does that make sense to you?
Sort of. I was really young then, so I just know she was sick. She'd come to visit, and she was sick.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, it's like no matter what your mom did, it wasn't good enough for her. whatever,
Ah,
get it. It wasn't good enough.
yes.
And then, yeah. And then when that happens, then the mother, your mom, just feels insecure about raising you. And it's always like, shit, I'm always doing something wrong. And you're not confident in anything that you do. That makes sense for you? Although you try
Yes.
to be an expert or you try to know a lot about things, that's where it comes from. But then you never feel
Ah,
good enough or never feel complete enough. Does that make sense for you?
yeah.
Okay. So do you see how clearly you go, oh shit, it's so obvious now? It's really a great place to be, hon, because you would never see that
Right.
clarity if you weren't removed from it. I would have to explain it more and more, take a while to explain it for you, like maybe originally when you met, when you came into XI, but now it's like, shit, yeah, I see that pattern. Just get it away from me. So again, don't beat yourself up. I keep saying this for you, hon, because what you do when you're beating yourself up is like you're pulling that pattern back. And it's like, why didn't I let go of this pattern earlier? But when you beat yourself up, it's just like, it
Not
just
good.
frustrated with you. So just like, yep, that's a pattern I want to leave. See ya. And just be
Right.
yourself. Okay. Don't beat yourself up
Okay.
for it. There's plenty of other people in your life that have beat you up.
Yes.
So you don't have to do that. Be kind to yourself, sweetie. Especially after this session. A lot of stuff will come out. A lot of things.
Right.
You're a little older, and you're gonna probably kick yourself in the butt, going, "Shit, I should have done this earlier." I've lost half my life. Blah blah blah. All that. It's like, don't go back and dig yourself in the hole deeper. Take a breath in. All of you, by the way. Breath in. Just go, you know what? Because that is going to happen for you. It's not there to beat yourself up, dig yourself in the hole. It's like, gosh, you know what? I've got the rest of my life here. I better get moving. And it'll perpetuate you to do things that you want to do. So again, it kicks you in the butt to start doing things, not cycling you down. Okay.
Okay.
Did that make sense? Is that very clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
take a breath in. You should come on the cruise, honey. I think that'd be really great for you. We've got the Alaskan cruise. I don't know why that feels right for you, but the Alaskan cruise, it's just like a new beginning for you, by the way.
Cool.
There we go. So this is also where you look at yourself, and again, you're beautiful, but you won't like the way you look. Okay? Just because
Okay.
kind of every time you look at yourself, you kind of remind yourself of your mom or your grandma. So as that
Oh,
pattern like releases for you, Sue, okay, the new version comes out. So when you look at yourself, it's like, oh my God, I don't like myself. This is wrong. This is wrong. You keep asking yourself, okay, that's leaving me. And again, it's very important to know that patterns are leaving you,
mhm.
right? So
Right.
kick those out of the way, okay? And then allow yourself to go, hey, I wonder what my new self is going to look like. And this is where you have a chance to take back, I would say 10 or 15 years of your life. Again, other people
Yes.
have done it before. I think
Yes.
you can too. Um, right? And this is where that youthfulness, some of the things that you missed out when you were 23, 24, some of those things will come through. Sometimes, a lot of times, you'll feel like a 23-year-old again. Okay, love it,
Hmm.
embrace it, take a breath in. Notice your hips. There you go. Perfect. Disconnected. Yes. So what'll happen is, and you'll go a little overboard, which is good. So don't worry about it. You'll throw everything away. Physically, you'll throw everything away. You're not going to care. That's a sign for you. Even if you think, I might have some use for it later, but I'm just going to throw it away. That's a sign for you that physically you've changed. Okay. So when you do that, just
Great.
throw it away. And you're good with that. There you go. And then notice your lower back. You're also going to start to see it's like, shit, I don't want to age like my mom or dad or anybody. And again, this is where you
No,
start to reclaim yourself. The frequency spas would be really good for you. And by the way,
I
again,
I do them. Yeah.
perfect. So redo them, re-listen to them because because it's the new you. As you're disconnecting, you'll have a frequency to replace. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Can I ask one question?
Yes, absolutely.
Um, Muscle aches, and
Yeah, the
I know
midsection.
that the burdens that I've carried curved my spine.
Yep.
So that will go too.
I can't guarantee it, but
I know.
in that midsection, that's why I was
Yes.
telling you to focus because it's just a lot of burdens and just a lot of storage in there.
Uh,
You'll start to release
okay.
that tension and patterns from you. Okay. And
Great.
whatever help that you need to maybe to align it or something, it'll happen.
Yeah.
But I would do some kind of cleanse as well, like a liver cleanse or a kidney cleanse.
Okay.
Just because you're cleaning out, might as well clean your internals as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome,
I
hon.
really appreciate
Happy
it.
life.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to Sue. Oh, no. Here, sorry. Oleana? Yeah.
Yeah. Hi,
Sorry about
Masati.
that. Hi,
I
hon. All right. Sorry about that.
had session not 2 weeks ago. Just
Yeah.
today, this one was
Yeah.
available. Um, would you please just scan me, maybe my kids, mom, if anything, any like distorted patterns left, especially between me and my daughter, if you
Yeah.
can.
Yep. Again, take a breath in. I remember you. You've had crazy stories about your I'm getting feedback for some reason. Crazy stories about you and your daughter, your daughter going into psych wards and coma and all that stuff. So that's a lot to come back from. So your daughter, you and your daughter is actually again not a doctor, but she seems like she's starting to heal herself from all the medications that messed her brain up. So
Mhm.
does that make sense? So she'll go off and on. So but overall, from what I'm seeing, is her brain is actually like recreating itself. From what I'm seeing, so a lot of good foods, by the way. Bone broth, fat,
Yeah.
cholesterol, to help her rebuild her brain.
I
She
did
also
not see her since November last year. She left. So I have no idea where she is even. So.
okay. So anyway, so we'll work on her on the side for you. Um, take a breath in. For you, you're starting your own life. And if you have YouTube on or something, Oleana, if you can turn that off because it's feedback. Okay.
I
Uh,
don't. I just have.
that's interesting. Okay,
Oh,
there we
mhm.
go. So take a breath in. All right. So for you, Oleana, is that your daughter's gone. Did you change careers as well, or are you?
No, I did not. I do the same thing. I've last 20 years
Okay.
design. I'm thinking about changing, but not sure what I can
Okay.
do.
Okay. So take a breath in.
Sure.
All right. So basically, it's an ending pattern. Okay. For you, being a mother, whether it's your son or your daughter, basically you're disconnecting from that pattern. Okay. You're disconnecting from that pattern and the new you is coming forth. Okay. So it's kind of like you kind of feel like an empty nester type syndrome. You don't know what to do with yourself, is the point. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So in this scenario, what you don't want to do is, again, create problems because people that run your patterns will start to create another problem that they have to sacrifice themselves for.
Okay.
So
I
again,
solve the
because
problem.
because you have no value right now, you kind of feel like empty or you feel like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. So again, don't throw yourself into problems, or don't create problems. Okay? Take a breath in for yourself. Okay? We need to let that go.
Okay.
So again, the key is you are running a pattern of having an identity where you have to sacrifice yourself. What happens is you will raise children that have to sacrifice, get diseased, have issues, whatever it is, to fulfill again the continuing pattern. It's not your fault. It's just a generational pattern of somebody has to support somebody else. Okay, that's all it is. Breath in again. So in this case, what's happening for you, hon, is that you are disconnecting from all that. And then you will feel empty, like I said, but let's bring in frequencies of a new opportunity, or basically a new life for you.
That's
Okay?
would be great. Sure.
Yeah. And um, are you moving? Yeah.
Moving? No,
Okay.
not now. Should I?
No. But that'll show up. Are you living in the same place for a long time?
3 years.
Okay, so you did move recent. Okay, so it might seem like you're gonna move again, or like you might rearrange your house or whatever for the new you, Oleana. Okay,
Okay.
so it's something like that. I do see you like stepping away from your career for about 4 to 6 months, allowing yourself, whether you say, hey, I need a break, or basically they go, hey, you need to take a break, or whatever. There's a disconnect where you're on your own for about 4 to 6 months. Again, you'll feel lost. Take a breath in. You'll feel lost for a little bit, but that's where you get to reclaim who you are. Okay.
4 to 6 months. That would be great. By the end of the year, about, right?
Yeah. And also, although your mental, your take a breath in again. Huh? Your mind is holding on to the old Liana. Your physical features, I kind of remember you. You're looking younger than ever. You're looking more vibrant and all that. So take a look at that as, say, as a reference point, or as confirmation that you're changing.
Okay.
Okay. So that's more important than your mental state, because you're too controlling. No offense, hon. You're trying to control your life through your mind. Okay.
Mm.
Back in the day, that was important, not anymore. So allow whatever is making you younger looking, more vibrant, all those possibilities. But again, you're holding on to the past. You literally are. So in this case, I was just like, I was yanking it off your hands. So you're going to feel really lost, but then all of a sudden you'll feel like really, really free for you. And then things that'll need to happen for you will happen for you. So take advantage of them rather than stopping and like creating something to happen. They'll happen for you automatically. That makes
Mm.
sense for you?
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. How do you feel, by the way? It's
Um,
it's
Good. One thing what happened while working with you, when my daughter left,
Mhm,
um, obviously not knowing where she is,
mhm,
kind before I would just literally be losing my mind, just worrying. But now I cannot make myself worry like much. It's like a moment,
mhm.
just think and it's
Of
gone.
course. Yeah, absolutely. So, honey,
Yeah,
there's plenty of a lot of times, your kids literally have to disconnect like that. Okay.
physically. Yeah. Okay.
Physically too, as well. Well, frequency wise, they disconnected. Physically, they have to disconnect. You're going to disconnect from, again, your job, your identity, your place for a little bit, because that's what happened to, your mom did that to you. You did that to your daughter. So what's happening now is like you all have to disconnect. Your kid, your daughter is disconnected, even I think your son as well, disconnected from you all, which is great. They create an identity of their own. They'll come back to you from what I've seen. Okay? And that's where you have a nurturing, mother parent, mother child relationship for you. Okay.
Okay.
Nice
Thank you
job.
very
You're
much.
so
Yeah.
welcome.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So those who have empty nester type syndromes or patterns, guys, just let it go. Right? It's the best thing for your kids. When again you start to become exponentially intelligent, your kids start to leave you or they don't want to talk to you. Again, they're just learning their own self. The camera turned out. Ah, shit. All right. Let me just turn on this camera. Is this? Just give me a second. So weird. How's that? Good. All right. All right, guys. I think we're good. We're good for today, guys. Perfect timing. Thanks for being here. Happy Mother's Day. It's a great opportunity for you to clean out your old stuff. You whether again your mom was an angel or a bitch, either way, just thank her and disconnect. Right? Don't be burdened by her either way. Thank her for the possibilities of you being here. Right? That's one of the biggest thanks we can give our parents, give our mom. And then it's like, yeah, okay. Thanks for bringing me into this realm. Some of the stuff, you can give back to them. It's like, hey, you know what? Thank you. I don't need this. I don't need this on my journey. That's really one of the best ways. And that way you get rid of the emotional baggage that keeps you, say, entrained or distorted. It's really important for you. A lot of times, again, people want to resolve or want their mother to, I don't know, you want to forgive your mother. You want your mom to say "I'm sorry" and all that stuff. Just let it go. Just let it go. It's like, hey, thanks for allowing me to be here, bringing me into this form. I don't need all that other stuff. Right? It's really a great time when you take a look at your mom. Again, look at all the patterns. So this Mother's Day, look at all the patterns. Look at all the synchronicities. Look at all the parallels that you and your mom possess and you go, yep, do I need that or I don't need that? Right? Look how she's aging. Are you aging the same way? Look at some of the habits, physical features, anything like that. And if you like it, it's like, yeah, that's the piece I like, which is really fantastic. I don't need the rest. I don't need anything else behind it. And then you start to delete the underlying patterns that make that'll eventually turn you into your mom in this case. Okay. All right, guys. So happy Mother's Day. Oh, need to promote uh, some stuff here, guys. A lot of good things actually coming up for you. Uh, Okay. If you go to the homepage, is it on the xico.com? Maybe? There's a Mother's Day package actually for you, right? Especially if you're new. A really, really fantastic package. Frequency Spa coming up May 15th, coming up in just a couple days. It's a great opportunity for you to reset your life, reclaim the beauty and the vibrance of who you are at a very deep level. And then also frequency microdosing, creative genius. That's coming up May 20th. Frequency microdosing, take a look at it. It's on the website. Really cool stuff. A lot of people are doing microdosing, like chemical microdosing with mushrooms, LSD, and all that stuff. Guys, there's a lot of dangers out there. You want to do it properly. Okay. Otherwise, they'll just mess you up, just like everything else has. Okay. You want to do it the exponentially intelligent way. So frequency microdosing is getting into the creative genius. Really, really fantastic opportunities for you. And it'll also help you enhance if you are actually physically microdosing. It'll help you do microdosing properly and take full advantage of the possibilities that physical microdosing with psychedelics can do for you. Okay, so you want to do it right. Universal power frequencies coming up. It's an awakening. It's on Buddha's teachings. Really, really powerful. We'll invite Buddha in the original frequency on that, which is really fantastic for you. Some of you, done that before. It's going to be even more powerful for that. And then also human deprogramming, XI human deprogramming, overcoming perfectionism, why we try to be a perfectionist, and then eliminating that so you can be a perfectionist in another way. Okay, really fantastic. I'll be in Barcelona mid-June. I believe look at the exact dates on the xicode.com, and then also the Alaskan cruise. It's a fantastic opportunity to restart your life for the fall. I think that's in September, I believe. Yep. And then also Burning Man, if you're interested, contact the office if you're interested for that. One last thing, guys, I just want to connect with you. Please sign up for the is it the XI Code channel, YouTube channel, Demi? Yeah, the XI Code channel. Yeah, put it on there. Guys, please subscribe to that. It's a new channel for you. It's going to be really, really fantastic. So we've got two channels, Masati on Sunday. It's going to be that. And then the XI Code is more like technical, more science driven, getting into quantum computers, quantum sciences. So basically the science behind XI. A lot of you have been asking for that. So we've created, again, a specific channel, the XI Code, and we'll give you, again, the reasons why, the science behind a lot of the things that are out there, right? The real science. Right? All right. Again, thanks for being here, guys. Notice what you noticed. We'll see you next Sunday. Again, another fantastic topic. So subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe as well. Peace and like this channel. Thanks, guys. Peace.